In a certain land, in a certain time, there lived a widow. After her husband passed, she faced the world as she found it, becoming a woman of incredible industry. She was known for her skill in farming and her sharpness in the market, and through this hard work, she raised the 7 children she had borne. But as the proverb says, no matter how perfect the yam, there is always a spot of rot. This woman's one great flaw was her love for excess. She loved a grand feast, the taste of strong palm wine, and most of all, the sharp, dizzying pleasure of her snuff. While a child can hold both fire and a knife and be harmed by neither, it was one of these small pleasures that would ultimately lead to this woman's ruin. One day, she went to her farm, which lay by the banks of a great river, to tend her crops. She set her basket down at the foot of a large ububo tree and began to work, not knowing that she was just a few feet from where a mother crocodile guarded its freshly laid eggs. When the woman grew thirsty and walked back to her basket for a drink, the crocodile, who had been watching from the water, saw her approach its nest. Believing the woman had come to steal its young, the great creature lunged from the riverbank and attacked. The woman fought with all her might, but she was no match for the beast's power, and in a terrifying moment, the crocodile swallowed her whole. But fate, it seemed, had given her a moment of grace. Tucked securely in her headscarf was her small container of snuff. As she tumbled into the crocodile's belly, the container burst open, spilling the fine, potent powder everywhere. The snuff began to torment the crocodile from the inside, causing an uncontrollable, explosive sneezing fit. The sneezing was so violent that the beast did not know when it vomited the woman back out onto the land. Shaken and desperate to soothe the fire in its gut, the crocodile scrambled back into the river. The woman, finding herself alive and breathing on the riverbank, grabbed her basket and ran for her life. After she had climbed a hill, her heart still pounding from what had happened, she sat beneath a tree to catch her breath and calm her nerves. Her first thought was for her snuff. She reached for the familiar container in her headscarf, but her fingers found nothing. It was gone. A wave of regret, sharper than her fear, washed over her. When a curse is spoken during a divination, she muttered to herself, it often finds its mark. But then a stubborn thought took hold. She remembered another proverb. The escape from your mother's killer is not the true escape. To her, the job was not done. She decided she could not live without her snuff, and she would go back to get it. And so, she turned back. As she reached the riverbank and began searching the ground for her lost container, the crocodile, lurking in the shallows, saw her once more. In the creature's mind, there was no doubt this persistent thief had returned for its eggs. Filled with a renewed fury, the crocodile attacked a second time. It swallowed the woman again, but this time there was no snuff left in her headscarf. There was no lucky sneeze, no miraculous escape. This time, the woman remained in the belly of the crocodile, where her story came to a dark and final end.